In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a digital output by turning on an LED using an Arduino. So first thing we have to do is grab a few components here. So I'm going to open up my component library. Let's grab an LED. Let's grab a resistor. Let's grab a breadboard. And let's grab an Arduino Uno. Okay, now let's just organize this a little bit here. So I'm going to rotate both my breadboard and my Arduino around so they're both facing vertical here. Okay, and I'm just going to kind of drag things over so we can see things a little bit better. So what we need to do is we need to connect our LED to pin 13. Well, it doesn't really matter which pin, but I'm going to use pin 13 here. Any of these pins 0 through 13 could be used as either a digital input or a digital output. So I'm going to rotate my LED around. Now there are two different connections here. And if I hover over the LED terminals, we have a cathode and an anode. An LED is polar, which means that it has a pole, so it matters which direction you hook it up. A cathode is a negative connection and an anode is a positive. So I'm going to take my resistor and I'm going to connect it to the cathode and to the ground column here. Then I'm going to take my anode and I'm going to run a wire to the positive column. I'm going to make that wire red. And then at the top of these columns, I'm going to go ahead and plug them into the Arduino. So actually, you know, I made a mistake. You do not want to plug your LED into the positive column, just the negative column. So I just went ahead and I connected the negative top block here of the negative column to the ground terminal of my LED. And then the anode, we're actually going to go directly into pin 13. If I had plugged it into this red terminal or this red column, that would have worked if there was just one LED, but this entire column then would have become wired to pin 13, not positive. So this is how you want to have it connected. Anode to pin 13, cathode to a resistor. I have the default 1K resistor for now, which is fine, to the negative terminal or the negative column, which is then running to ground. Now, by default, if we open up our code editor, the default program is actually to make an LED light up here. So I'm just going to turn off block programming. And then I'm actually going to delete all this and just kind of run through it from scratch. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an int. We're going to call that LED. And I'm going to set that equal to 13. Then we're going to go void setup. In setup, we have to go ahead and create pin mode. This sets our pins here. So we're going to say the pin mode of LED, which of course equals 13, is going to be an output. Then we're going to close setup. I'm going to comment here saying close setup. We're going to open our void loop. And in void loop, what we have to do is we have to do the digital write command. Now, a digital write command, notice the capital W there, can either send a 0 or a 1, a digital signal, on or off. And that is reflected as a low or high signal. So if I said digital write LED high, this should go ahead and turn on our LED. And I'm going to comment here LED on. And then I'm just going to enter a little bit and say close loop. Let's go ahead and run our simulation. And as you can see, we have an LED that's turned on. If I hit stop simulation, the LED turns off. If I wanted to have this LED be off, I would just say digital write LED low. And I'm going to change my comment to LED off. And now if I rerun my simulation, the LED is going to stay off. If I wanted to go back and forth between high and low, I could do something like this. So high, LED on. I can do a delay 1000. That will wait 1 second. Then I can do digital write LED low. And that's LED off. And then I'll do another delay 1000. And this should flash back and forth between on or off here. So let's see what that does. There we go. We have a blinking LED. That's the fundamental basic for doing a digital output. You have to set your pin mode. You don't need to use a variable, but it's more convenient and more organized if you do. And then use the digital write command to go ahead and create your digital output.